All right, everybody. Happy 2024 to all you guys, non listeners, and whoever you are, wherever you are. This is Tom. I am back here. It's been a while. I just thought I'm gonna speak my mind a little bit about all this crap that is going through my head. Basically, just that. Where am I now? I almost have to question myself because I look so tired and I still am. Yesterday, last night, midnight actually, I came back to Sweden. I've been away over Christmas and New Year, basically a bit over a month. I've been gone, I've been traveling to travel to Portugal, back to Portugal for some reasons that we can get into. And yeah, just maybe just start off with I feel always funny how I always feel I kind of have to explain myself the mood I'm in. But you can see the description of this video just felt in this kind of mood. This kind of mood, I I don't know. I'm melancholic. I guess I don't know if it's true, but I kind of feel like I'm getting into some kind of rough period or times. I mean, everybody is. I am not in a position to like literally complain on a lot of things because we will get into a lot of this stuff. Like, yeah, it actually connects to why I went to Portugal now over Christmas and New Year's. But it's funny how I don't mean in a complaining way. I get in these moods at times, and that's when I feel like I can make these videos and make them as I wish. So I kind of start off with every now and then I feel as I'm entering I guess entering some kind of dark time. Call it depression. I'm not being like I know people are so much more depressed than I could be. But I don't know if it's maybe just depressed, feeling the blues, melancholy, melancholic maybe. And yeah, who the fuck cares how you feel, Tom? Right? That is that is the truth. Nobody gives a damn on how it goes for you. Um, it's just how the world is. I feel like we're entering and like we've been already. I mean, come on, where are we going in this world? And don't get me wrong, I am optimistic. I believe so much in humanity. But since moving back to Sweden, I feel that Sweden there's some vibe, or should I say the energy where I'm living, this town where I go to school. I don't know. There, I feel like there's change since but I never lived here before. But I know that crime was on the rise here. But also, I feel there is a hostile or hostility. You know what I mean? It's like kind of fearfulness in the air. And I've seen some stuff. I've encountered some stuff since I've been back. Nothing in particular, but just some stupid stuff. And I am a person staying out of problem. I mean, I don't ask for problems to get to me. I'm not saying that they do get to me and or anything like that. But I'm not the person just to back away if I see something which is wrong. But obviously, of course, Depends what it is. Depends the nature of it. If I like, obviously, if there's gunfire going on or something, I'm not going out in the streets. I mean, I'm not that stupid. But yeah, sometimes I feel just, I don't know. I wouldn't want to say mentally challenged. Just like thinking a lot of, but that is a disease in itself. Who say that thinking too much is just, is it Dostoevsky, Fyodor Dostoevsky? What's his name? I can't pronounce it. Just thinking too much is also like a burden itself, and I can totally identify with that. But now I'm just gonna have one of these. You will see. I'm gonna sit here and eat my celery. Yes, you heard me right. It's a celery, and I eat them a lot. Just wanna be centered. Yeah, they are good for a lot of things, and I do need to eat more vegetables and fibers. Yeah, that maybe get me to why Portugal, that I moved away from in August this last year. I I was kind of, I mean, I was healthy, but I was also kind of unhealthy there. I probably gained a little bit of weight there. I mean, not to say that I am very fond on the Portuguese cuisine. I don't think really that is that good, but there's something about going to these very cheap local traditional Portuguese restaurants, have like some traditional dish, although they are far from the food you will get here if you go to a local restaurant here. They just don't have anything. They don't know what sauce is there. Basically, they don't know what's spices is. Funny considering they colonized parts of India and had so much. They went to a war for spices, basically. I have a lot to talk about, I feel, and I think it will make me feel better, even if nobody care. And I talk with myself, about myself, for myself. Seems seems utterly narcissistic to begin with, but I'm not doing it for a narcissistic purpose. I'm doing it to feel better, I guess. Is that what narcissist needs to do? Maybe. Maybe. No, I just been feeling empty as damn since, yeah, since basically since last night, since coming home here. It's cold. It was -11 here last week, and more up north where I'm from, it was -30. Seriously, that is in Fahrenheit. Just one moment. It is about minus, it should be -8, if I'm correct. No, sorry, -22 Fahrenheit. That is that is a bit over the top. That is quite serious. I'm glad I missed out on that. Great times in Portugal. weather there, obviously in the north where I spent my time the most. I went down one day to Lisbon also. It was just warm, sunny, blue sky, and occasionally a lot of rain, as it does there in the winter. Yeah. So I actually, when I arrived, or maybe start why I went there. I have my better half there. She's living there. Obviously, for having the great opportunity to stay over a month there was just great for us. Now, since I am studying here in the south of Sweden, uh, yeah, I did. Went there to do an ethnographic fieldwork, since that is a part of the course that I'm doing right now, and my my fieldwork was about, which is funny enough, I was actually working as a digital marketer when I was living there, and as of last year, an article published, Portugal was the top destination for digital nomads in the world. I couldn't believe it. Together with there this big digital nomad hub in North Thailand, in Chiang Mai, Bali is a big one, Singapore, I think, places in South America. But Portugal being right now the top destination for a lot of those people that bring their work basically with them in their backpack and travel a lot. So having already an insight to this, spoke with my professor. I want to do something about transnationalism. I feel interested about people that go to other places and they stay there and they create their own communities. And we just basically started to talk about digital nomads. And this is back in early December before I left, or maybe even late November. So yeah, my fieldwork was basically on co-working spaces and interviewing like four. I chose four people um, to do ethnographic fieldwork interviews with, or semi-structured interviews with, and I felt satisfied with what I achieved. Not to say that my research came up with anything groundbreaking or new. No, no, no. This was like 6 hours social practice and minimum of four interlocutors. And with that said, I feel my findings basically included themes which you should do as an ethnographer or anthropologist. You should obviously understand your research subject just for what it is and explain like definition, the history, what it consists of, some ritual, symbolism, whatever. But then what is emerging from this field or this topic of yours? What are the surrounding aspects? What emerged from it? And what emerged from my little research now, it was like I said, it was not something groundbreaking that I was the first to find. It had connections to previous research and my resources. And I think that is an achievement just by itself, considering this was just, what was it, like 2, 3, 4 weeks ethnographic fieldwork. So it was an exercise. So in retrospect, I'm satisfied. That's what I'm gonna say. So tomorrow we'll see if I get the chance to present my findings, or at least what I did. But anyway, Yes, I went. That was those reasons why I went back to Portugal, and I did have a whole lot of fun by myself. Like I went out not quite a lot, but quite a bit, and I had some real drinking sessions there by myself. Went out to places, visit some places I used to go to when I lived there, and just ordering some cheap beers, big cheap beers, and just feeling the vibe. And it was like kind of similar like when I lived there. Mm. And now I'm just coming back here. It is obviously like very lonely somehow. I feel a little bit like I'm getting into that vibe, or those moments. I do like every, I don't know, every couple years, or every 3 years, or something like that. It's when you just kind of question a lot. And this is funny, you question a lot about how is the future gonna be, and you worry, compare myself with others. I don't know why I do that. Now I just need to find a work, some job next to school, because I really really want to work, and I have already a lot of projects that I also need to do. I'm picking up my sound card tomorrow, actually. It has arrived. I need to go and pick it up. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. And I'm slowly building on a studio, because I gotta have things to do, that is a goal of having like a, what should I say, maybe 5 year plan of those are the things that I would like to create. Then I feel fine. Then whatever can happen. Just get that out of my system, basically. Then I don't. I should not say that I don't care. Then after that, obviously I will care. I have people that I need to take care of, and all that. But it's so weird times right now. And that's not something that I should necessarily go around worry about. But I just heard defense. What is the name of that person? He's the highest in the military. The chief, the chief defense. He's not a minister. He's not a politician. Anyway, um, saying that we could be in war. We could end up in war here. And now Sweden is about joining NATO, and they're telling the people, civilians, institutions, to kind of start networking and preparing. What are you going to do if? How do you going to handle the situation if it will become war? Why did I do that? It's washing my celery. Mm. And sure, if it gets war, yeah, what are the civilians gonna do? Is it up to us to be? I guess it's better to be prepared, obviously, if something horrible happens. But it's so messed up to think about. Sweden have not been in war for, is it 250 years? Yeah. I don't know which narrative I should believe, but I start to find the narrative of the US being an aggressor and expanding its NATO borders and all that weird, because corruption, Biden and Hunter being involved in Ukraine as like a money laundering nation seems to leak out more and more. And yeah, expanding the borders more and more. And people say, no, it's Russia would like to have back their old Soviet states, and some people just say no, no, absolutely, they couldn't care about that. It's just because the US is an aggressor. Who the fuck knows? But I start to listen more to that narrative, which is not what should I say? It's not the mainstream narrative, if you wish, in the Western media. And that is true. And I'm not putting any value in whether that is right or wrong, but I'm saying that I start to listen to that narrative more. And the conflict in Middle East. There was one woman saying that Russia isn't a threat to the US. I don't know, it sounds so weird. That's because that's totally what it feels like historically. But then she said, no, it's actually China is the real threat. And yeah, if China, Russia are getting along well, then obviously that is a threat, Russia. But yeah, then you see, I don't know, it's like people have heard some resources saying that this it's getting closer to a bigger war because they're happening so many things. Like, think about it, Europe, Middle East, and then the Chinese Taiwanese China Taiwan situation that is very inflicted. And then you have all this small situation also with, yeah, there is also tension north. South Korea is not over at all. What's going on in the US Mexico border, is that like an invasion, or it's really people from Africa and Afghanistan on all these strange places they're from? Are they really migrants getting there? I mean, think, how do these people afford Afghanis, Pakistanis? How do they afford to go to Mexico border? I don't know. I don't understand it. Seems like human trafficking. And then one guy, yeah, this guy, drug addict that I talked with, actually, he came and asked for money. And I seen this guy come and ask so many time people money. And this time I was sitting and drinking beer. I just said, what is the thing about you going around asking for 50 cents all the time? I've seen you before. And then he started talking that he's a heroin addict, smoking that bad stuff. And I asked him, because he is from India, this guy. This was now when I was in Portugal. And he said that he basically, that thing with, because there are so many from India, Bangladesh, Pakistan is more and more in Portugal. And I have not understood how these people actually kind of sustain themselves. A lot of them are driving Uber Eats, these food delivery services, and a lot of them is a lot of them are opening these tourist shops in the tourist areas. They all sell the same kind of stuff. I have no idea how they can survive. I know there's a lot of tourists in Portugal. It's become a huge increase in tourism there now, especially when the pandemic went off. But yeah, he said, this guy, the addict, basically, that there is human trafficking that's going on. And I don't know how it exactly is, how it's maintained or how it's taking place, all the details. But I feel like maybe there are people in, for example, Bangladesh, and they have like these programs. Oh, go to Portugal and get a job with this and earn this much. And for them it seems like a great opportunity, and maybe there's just a handful that actually get the chance, but a lot of them, they go over there because they are paying these agencies to get an opportunity there, and then they pay their flights, and they are maybe just get some help with the setup, but then they are like left alone to deal with And many of them, like they seem to invest, setting up little like Indian restaurant, Bangla shop, selling all their spices. They all sell like cheap Portuguese wine. They sell this cheap phone. What is what do you call it? Phone plans. And I just don't get it how they actually survive. But that guy anyway, he said, because it was nice. I like to talk with people from different walks of life, and I just said that I like to hear from you if you have a moment now. What's going on with all these people? Like, what are they coming here for? And then his story, I didn't talk with him long at all, maybe 3 5 minutes. I asked like, what are you doing with yourself actually? But that is a whole different story. Um, yes, but this year I don't know what's. I have my clear goals, what I need to do, but there are no guarantees. I listened to a podcast the other day about this guy. He just said that yeah, you can. People say work hard and you will become like, I don't know, you will be a lawyer, you will be a successful astronaut, you will become this and that. But it's not really always that. The world right now, it's, yeah, I think in most places, so extremely competitive. It doesn't matter you work hard, it doesn't matter you have a master's degree, it doesn't matter you have a PhD, it doesn't matter you have the top grade in school. Sometimes it doesn't even matter you have the experience, because it's just so many variables that plays in when you're going, if you're going to get a job or not. So much is about connections, being referred, but it's better to be hopeful than just moody like I am now. But that is okay. Sometimes you cannot help that. Sometimes it's just what it is. um but yeah, I used to say that life is so beautiful anyway when it's very hard. But that's not always the case either. Sometimes it can be very, very hard. But yeah, it's nice to sit. Oh, that's one thing that is good to be back here. Here it's very warm. Here I can like shower for as long as I want with warm water. I Yeah, there's no damp humidity, dampness like in North Portugal. I'm telling you, the houses is not built for the winters. It's so humid. There's coming mold very easy, and yeah, you are so cold all the time. Your hands, your body, and you go outside and it's like the same. Of course, if it's a warm sunny day and like 16 degrees, you're fine. But inside in the evenings and mornings, it can be horrendous. It's not very nice. But yeah, that's something that I appreciate. Those small things. Try to appreciate those small things. But I mean, the fact that we live in an, you say, an equal world, that is just the begin. That's just the forward. There's going to be more of that. I mean, I'm quite sure of it. People that sit on the power of technology and making decisions and input, I heard this today actually, is going to be so far more powerful than the majority of humanity which is going to be more or less a slave class dictated by AI and technology informants, decision makers, people that sit in on the power and connected to the power of these resources, which is going to be very few limited people actually when you think about it. If you think about how much technology is doing for us already, just wait. I don't know, maybe it's going to go faster and faster. Say 5 to 10 years, and there will be an just dramatic change in how jobs are made, executed, and is going to kind of enslave humanity to not think for themselves. I heard a good thing today. Just think about these rider programs. If we don't have to do the writing ourselves and the AI is doing it for us, we're losing our critical ability of actually input what we want to write ourselves, and we become dictated by the output from these tools, these machines, this technology, and we're forgetting. If you don't use, you forget. Do you really like remember what you were taught in, I don't know, if you went to some class back 5 years ago, from this specific class, do you remember why you got the best grade there? Maybe you can outline very brief, but most likely we don't use everything that we go to school for. No way. Get out of here. Um, and that's a lot of stuff. I know what I'm studying now. I think I question it almost every day. Like, and that's now we get to what I was gonna say before. This is so funny with me, and I don't know. I feel like this is a curse. I don't know where I'm going with myself. Sometimes I question. I know things that I really want to do, is things I'm passionate about. But then is this part that I think, okay, I was living in Portugal. I earned okay money for being there, and or actually kind of more than okay money for being living there. And then, of course, there are people that would say, no, that's not good at all. But considering Portugal, it was definitely more than okay. But just that, I would say, personally. But it's not about that also. But anyway, I was kind of like complaining on my position. Not complaining, but I was dissatisfied because I felt like, where's the growth in this now? I've done this now. I want to take a step forward, which does not. And then there was not the fact I didn't want to take a step in the company and climb the ladder in the company. I wanted to do something different. That'd been on my mind for some years, many years. Although more like 3 years. I was in Portugal 5 years, so 3 years. Basically, I was thinking maybe I should do this, go study this anyway. And I did apply 2021. I was accepted. I didn't join, I didn't enroll. And then next, no, let me think, 22. And then 23, I enrolled again, and I did enroll. So here I am. But now that, like, I was dissatisfied there, even though life was very smooth sailing, I could do whatever I wanted, more or less. But of course, I could have another. There's many things that could be better, obviously, like how I was living, but that could be managed. But anyway, I decided to do this, and now here I am. Like, what is it? 6 months later, and now I'm back in this kind of thoughts, in this kind of mindset that I was at a point when I was living there, working. This kind of feel like I'm going off a little bit with myself, even if I'm here doing what I wanted. very neurotic, it can seem like, but I still maintaining what I'm supposed to do. And that needs to manifest itself also when it comes to my projects. That is actually very, very important. It really has to manifest itself there as well. But summarization of it is basically that, yeah, you can do a lot of things. There is no guarantees. So, I, I don't know. I just feel maybe it's very, 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 very like low video, very, very serious. No, but it's not serious either. It's just reflective thoughts, where we're going, that nothing is for certain. But we're trying our best. Everybody is trying their best. I didn't mean to be like a mood breaker. What do you say? Just be very low. But yeah, it's not been very, very. I mean, it's been a productive day. I had to sleep out a little bit considering that I arrived late last night. But I've been to the library. I've been preparing a presentation that is actually right here. And yeah, it's not long at all. It's basically, I can go through it on 5 minutes. Um, about the ethnographic fieldwork of the digital nomads community in Portugal. And yeah, I found some stuff there, but yeah, that is, we'll see how that goes. I feel like I want to do it. I really would like to do it. It would be great. Yeah, but the thing about the future, I'm not gonna speak too much longer on this topic, but I think that I have that, like I said, I feel like it's a curse worrying of future and whatever, comparing myself. It doesn't matter in the end. Oh, that's the good thing about it. It does not matter. In the end, it does not matter whatsoever. It's just like we are here. I think we're here we're here on Earth just to in a in a human skin, like a vehicle. Our consciousness is in the body, which is a vehicle, biological vehicle, to become better. It's maybe there's this thing that we return. Some have to relearn or learn again. And if you don't, you just coming back before there is consciousness or oneness. And that is my truth. I tell you that. I have some experience that explains that. But that is very, very, what should I say, very a topic on its own that I will not go into here. I try to express that in other ways. I am working on that. That is something that I express in a little bit, actually, in everything that I want to do and that I am creating. But yeah, what did I want to say? Yeah, not think so much about. You should think about the future, of course. Think as much as you can in a healthy degree. Now I'm speaking to myself. Um, don't let it like make you feel paralyzed, or because there is only that little or that much we actually can control, and that is not much. There is so little we actually can control. We think we like have everything under control in our lives, but I'm telling you, you can control like what do you have for dinner, what do you have for breakfast. You can control like, oh, I'm gonna try to go there on time to work on time, but there is instances that happen all the time So why should I worry like too much about my current situation when I actually went there because I wanted, and I am doing what I'm supposed to. I mean, so far being having good grades, and I'm doing what I can. Everybody's doing what they can. Of course, we can always do a little bit more, push ourselves a little bit more. But yeah, with that said, I feel kind of a little bit, maybe a slight bit of relief. Um, yeah, I think it's fair to say that my life is not very. No life is normal, but you know what I mean? My life so far is just. What is the word for it? I don't know if I want to say interesting, but I know that I want to live interesting life. I mean, don't we all, I guess? But like, for example, live with the attitude that, like, more. Okay, here we get down to it, I guess. I guess this is kind of how I do live. Not, I am not very materialistic, but I am materialistic in some sense. I can say that. Like, for example, I mean, speaking of the visual here, now I'm just like, yeah, I do wear like old shirt. This is quite new and like some new stuff basically. But then also I wear old with new with old, as you see. Like this shirt is broke, or is it here? And that is just one thing. And I'm not. Then I have, yeah, like a new laptop, for example, or new. I don't know what is it, 6 5 6 months. But I need that for my, yeah, for business school and my project. But like, for example, I don't need a new phone every year, every second year. No, I don't need a new car. I don't even own a car right now. Some people really need a car, and I understand that. But there is not really things that I feel like I need to buy all the time. And why did I start talking about? Yes, I started talking about how to live. Like I want to live an interesting life. I didn't really choose this, but I kind of lived out of a suitcase for a very very long time. But now I'm in the should I say, I am in the position where I feel like I kind of want to build a little bit of a home, a feeling of a home, something that I never had. Of course, when I was living, growing up and everything, that felt really very much like a home. But ever since left there, I've never been able to get home in night and feeling like home. When I lived in Portugal, for example, there was maybe a slight feeling of that when I was studying my undergraduate, um, but no, still not so much. That place was not super nice, actually. And now here I am, and I have not a lot of stuff, which is good, which is nice in a way. And so far, that's how it's going to be. And there was something else I wanted to say about that living. I also do kind of know what I want to do for work. I want to work with what I have experience with, and continuing this studying. It's so strange. I have like a vision, and some people have, oh, I have a clear vision of my life. It's like this and this and this, and I'm gonna do that to get to there. No, I don't really have that, and I don't want to have like that either. But I do have a vision for myself, for life. But also, I live. I now it's maybe sound now I may sound like a hypocrite, because I just said that sometimes I feel like I see that I think too much about like how the future is gonna be, but I also fuck. I lost my train of thought, but I had something that I really wanted to say. Yeah, not thinking too much of how it's going to be. And I'm not gonna say like some people, this complete. It's good in one aspect that you have to be present now, but some people are just completely that mindset. Like I don't know what that is. I think is also not. You should do things like this for me now, like investing in yourself. But it's also like I said, there are still no guarantees for that. Um, yes, I want that. What I want to say is, of course, think about those things, but then I also want to live as that I do. That if I would just pass out next week or the next month or next year, and I certainly hope I wouldn't. But if that would happen, I just don't feel any regrets with that or with anything. That's why it's so important to try to value what you do have, the people around you, because that is just such a wake up call when you just suddenly realize somebody that you know is just gone, or you could be gone. So in this way, I feel like I'm living. Yes, I think I live an interesting life, actually. I appreciate those things in life that are quite simple, nature a lot. I walk a lot, at least when I'm traveling. Then I walk a lot. Here, didn't walk so much since I moved here. But that's also maybe because I'm very busy with things. But yeah, just be able to have few things that is making you happy. And the thing that do makes me, it doesn't actually think about it. Of course, it would be nice to have a little bit of a bigger place, and I will eventually. Like imagine to have a house, but then I think also I look at my parents growing up also in a house. There's always things you need to repair, something that broke. Once you have painted a house, yeah, then it's rechange or rebuild that part of the house, or it's changing this and that. Maybe over exaggerate a little bit. It depends how like handy you are, I guess, and how in check you have with your place, if you're keeping up with it. But yeah, being more on the run, be able to be on the run, that is something that is also very nice, but still have that little place where you can be a little bit rooted, have your home. And that is also the plan. So studying, working, creating, creating is like the most essential part of it. Doesn't matter, nobody will ever see it or read it or whatever. It's not about that. It never was. That is my last words for this live stream. Yeah, I appreciate for listening, and my name is Tom, and I will be back in hopefully a short while. I don't know when I'll be back in here on this platform. I mean, I am on this platform, but when there will be something new from me, I will have stuff coming up for sure. Now it's just about getting to it. Um, and then what I mean with that is actually creating it. It's about learning the equipment, etc., etc., and doing that hard work that nobody care about and nobody sees. But I love it. Thank you for listening. Bye.